Hey, somebody has run out on the field. Some goofball in a hat and a red shirt. Now he takes off the shirt. He's running down the middle by the 50. He's at the 30. He's bare-chested and banging his chest. Now he runs the opposite way. He runs to the 50. He runs to the 40. The guy is drunk, but there he goes. The 20. They're chasing him. They're not going to get him. Waving his arms. Bare-chested. Somebody stop that man. Oh, they got him. Oh, they got him. They're coming from the left. Oh, they got him. Bang, bang, bang in his chest. Bang, bang. The guy is drunk.
Welcome to Fantasy and Chill Week 14. I'm your quarterback, Ryan Keller. Ethan dealing with some sick keeds tonight. So he'll be out of commission on the IR for this week. But as always, we got producer Matt joining me.
I'll fill in, even though I've always been here. I guess they got the two casino winners for this week.
Right. Successful casino trip for me and Matt this weekend.
Barely.
I was a little bit more successful for me. Matt squeaked it out though. That's always good.
You know, sometimes you just got to stay up till 4 in the morning trying to.
Got to grind out there, grinding.
I mean, there's plenty of other people grinding with this. They just didn't grind properly.
They were not very successful.
Tune in for the off-season casino talk podcast.
Yeah.
On how to win.
That'll be a good one.
On how to get up from a table when you're down and not spend all your money the first night.
There are certain people that will not be invited on that podcast to talk about that.
This is what not to do, and
Yeah.
this is what to do.
And your picture keeps like freezing up.
Don't worry. It's just probably on your end. Mine looks good.
So while Matt did squeeze out a successful casino trip, he did not quite squeeze out a trip to the championship in our league.
Yeah.
Taken
It was so
down
close.
by old Derrick. Everybody knows about Derrick. He's got quite a few
Alshon
stories
Jeffrey
on here
owner.
that we've talked about.
Alshon Jeffrey owner from last year.
Huh?
So
Alshon Jeffrey dropped him for me last year.
Yeah, that's how most people know him probably.
But Derrick has quite the powerhouse team, and he rolled over Matt. Matt had a few injuries to deal with, but Matt will be playing for third place the next 2 weeks.
Respectable.
So good luck getting your money back. Always the bridesmaid.
You know, as long as the bridesmaid pays out $200, that's fine with me.
Yep, that's all you can ask for. All right, let's go ahead and get started this week with our
Fantasy Studs.
fantasy studs.
Fantasy studs.
And normally we go, position by position here, but I have to start out with the highest point total by far of the year. This was the highest scoring effort, I think, in a few years as it comes to fantasy. And it was a very unlikely culprit here. Derrick Henry,
You
running
ain't
back for the
joking.
Titans. 17 carries for 238 yards and 4 touchdowns. If you were lucky enough, or maybe your team was just so bad that you had to start Derrick Henry this week, then you benefited very greatly. This is kind of what, obviously not this, but I thought that he was obviously capable of decent fantasy output. He's just, for some reason, they have just not been giving him the ball this year. So next game, I figure he'll get quite a few carries.
I was the complete opposite of your thoughts just now. I thought, and I still think, he's a terrible running back. He is only good when he gets in the open field, and I think that's what he showed with showing them 4 stiff arms in that one, the 99-yard play. Speaking of the casino, we're actually on the blackjack table when that happened, I think.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah, y'all were looking at the chips while I was standing out after a pretty
You were
significant
letting
loss.
us know what was going on.
Yeah. But I still think he's terrible. The only way he's going to be good is if he gets in the open field where you can use, like, he gets a burst of speed pretty quick, but if he doesn't get that speed, then he's just terrible. He's like an Alfred Blue. Shout out Texans.
Whoa. He's much better than Alfred Blue.
Is he, though?
I think he's pretty good when given the chance.
This is his first. How long is it going to take for them to give him? I mean, he's gotten the chance before.
Man, he had some good games last year when they were featuring him.
Yeah, well, maybe, like you said, maybe now they'll feature him. I'm still. So if you started him, odds are you're not in the playoffs, or you're playing like a 16-team league.
I don't know. I saw this story online where this guy had the number one overall record, number 1 point scored. He had like Mahomes. I forget his team, but anyways, he had Connor.
You just had to shout out Mahomes.
And he had a stud team like Ezekiel Elliott,
Oh, okay.
all these guys. But he had Connor and Odell Beckham. So they sat out this week. And the guy he was the number 1 seed. He played the last seed in the playoffs, and that guy started Derrick Henry, and he's out of the playoffs now.
Damn. I'd be pissed.
Just got fucked.
I mean, I guess this was the week where you could start like some shitty guys, and we lost Ryan. Andy's back.
I'm still here.
Okay. Oh, sorry. So did you hear what I was talking about? No, I was gonna say this is.
What you talking about?
You're just camera froze. But this was the week you could start some shitty guys and actually pull out a win because all the injuries that have been happening with Connor, Hunt, not so much injuries, Melvin Gordon. Like, there were some guys available where you might have had to start them and could have squeaked out a win.
So yeah, Derrick Henry, over 50 points. Pretty crazy.
First 50 burger.
You could have probably given us 100 guesses over who would score 50 points this week, and I don't know if we would have come up with Derrick Henry.
Yeah, especially with the hate I've been giving him. Nah.
Yeah.
No chance.
Speaking of guys that you did not expect to score this many points, our next stud was very close to dropping a 50 burger. Amari Cooper, 10 catches for 217 yards and 3 touchdowns. Like, you tell if week 5 of this season, if you would have told me that in week 14, Derrick Henry and Amari Cooper would combine for over 100 fantasy points in a week, like, that's crazy.
Yeah. This was a product of going against the Eagles. I don't know. Were you watching the game? Or did you watch most of the game? Did you
I watched
see
the end of it when he started going off.
I don't know if it was him or I think it was Michael Gallup, where he burnt that the cornerback, I forget his name, and the cornerback just looked like he was, I don't know, he looked like he's a newborn calf or something trying to chase Gallup down. Luckily, Dak overthrew him, which he did twice.
I saw that one. The Eagles secondary is awful.
Yeah, they're terrible. I mean, Cooper has definitely brought up that Cowboys offense a little bit, but
I mean, that third touchdown he got in overtime was definitely like a fluke. The guy deflected and just bounced perfectly to him. But the first two, he just burnt those guys down the sideline. He was gone.
Yeah, and that's what it's been with Cooper. It's Dak gets him the ball, and it makes Dak look good, and Dak is not good. Let's be honest.
I don't know. He's down here on our list a little bit.
No. Why don't we just start naming off Derek's fucking starting lineup this week? But Cooper is their off. Well, I should say Cooper is their offense because they have Zeke too. But Cooper is their passing offense. He's what makes it work. This is I'll get to how much Dak has improved, or how much he's improved with Dak than Carr in a little bit. But yeah, he's been good.
Real quick, I forgot to ask, how many people are gonna start Derrick Henry next week in their playoff matchup, and just be so pissed when he gets 3 points again?
I know of one.
Yeah, that's a given. Although he's playing you for the third place now, so
I forgot to write down who the Titans are playing next week. I guess I can look that up real quick. But even if
I forget,
even if they are playing against a decent team, like a bad team. Okay, they're playing against the Giants, which Giants have been playing a little bit better lately. But Jacksonville has given up. That's another reason why Henry went off for that much.
I don't know. They shut out the Colts the week before.
Well, yeah, I think that was a fluke.
Yeah, because you saw what the Colts did this week. So
yeah, well, Texans got a good defense too.
Well, they did.
They did.
Ethan's not here to bash him, so it's not as fun. But
let's
move on to.
It's a given that we bash.
Yeah,
I was just gonna say it's a given that we bash the Texans. I think everyone knows we hate the Texans.
We get to bash them a little bit further down the list too. So
it's a love-hate.
Our third fantasy stud Tight end George Kittle, 7 catches for. What is that from?
I don't know. I just typed in. I just typed in Skittles on YouTube, and that's what came up.
George Kittle, 7 catches for 210 yards and a touchdown, all in the first half. He did not catch one pass in the second half.
He had 1 target.
210 yards in the first half. Did you know that he was 4 yards shy of the modern tight end receiving record for a game?
I did, because you mentioned that later on in our notes. Which was...
Like, that's crazy.
Did you know who it is?
What?
It was Shannon Sharp. Yeah. When he was playing with Denver. And the Giants were playing... Or not the Giants. The Niners were playing against Denver.
All over the place. What the heck was that? But yeah, 4 yards shy. There was even a mic'd up of Kyle Shanahan saying, like, I should have kept you in there to get a 5-yard catch. Or like,
why didn't he? Like those. Huh? It's like those fucking coaches that are like, oh, we're gonna be giving the ball to our running back a lot next week, and then they give him like 5 carries. I'm looking at you, Pete Carroll. Bill Belichick. Yeah, I could keep going.
Yeah, you don't need to though.
I think this was the first time this year that the highest wide receiver, tight end, and running back all outscored the highest QB.
And they all had over 200 yards.
Oh. Wait, who was the... Oh, yeah, Cooper. I forgot. I thought my boy coming up was going to get over 200. We
almost had 4 200-yarders. Yeah. So close.
Oh, well. So where do you think...
wait, you're not. I was thinking the other matchup, because in our league, we get the 200-yard bonus. I was like, man, if you lost by like 2 points, you were 1 yard away.
That's what I was going to bring up later. But... so. Real quick about Kittle, where do you think I know we kind of talked about it last week, but where do you think he's going to get drafted next year?
Where do I think he'll get drafted?
Well, will he get drafted before Ertz, too?
No, because I'll have some things about Ertz, too, later. But okay. I think Kittle will go in the 5th round.
5th round? Okay. Yeah. That's where I see him going, 5th or 6th, actually. I think I said that last week as well, but... Want to see your thoughts?
I take Kittle in the 5th round? No.
Well, you have a different mindset than
exactly. We know how I feel about tight ends. So,
Kelsey,
will you take Kittle in the 5th round? Maybe,
yeah. Unless I get Kelsey in the 5th, which ain't happening.
Kelsey going in the 5th.
Kelsey going in the 2nd right now. Yeah.
Let's get to our second running back to make an appearance here. Saquon Barkley, 14 carries for 170 yards and a touchdown. Also added for 4 catches for 27 yards. So this was another one of Derrick's players that Matt got to go up against. Saquon Barkley has turned into an absolute stud.
Yeah.
He is your solid running back 2. He's closing the gap quickly on Todd Gurley.
Yeah, Gurley hasn't been performing as well lately. And damn, I was definitely wrong about Barkley.
To 9.9.
Oh, that's with the way Barkley's been running. So I was watching Red Zone, and I'm like, okay, I'm in a decent position right now. Like, I just don't need any big plays. And then as soon as I think that, they cut to the Giants game.
It's like a 60-yard run or whatever.
They're on like the fucking 30-yard line. I'm like, well, this is a Barkley touchdown. I already know it is. They didn't have to mention, because whenever they cut to that shit on Red Zone, you just know a big play is coming up.
Whenever they cut to something and the team is on the opposite side of the field, it's like, oh, here comes a big play.
And I was like, well,
or just like a nasty interception.
Like, Odell's not playing, so it's got to be Barkley. And right when they hand it off, I'm like, yeah, he's gone. And if you saw him burst through that hole, like, he went from 0 to 60, and I swear, like 1 second. It was insane. His speed.
60 miles an hour.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. But yeah, I guess if you did own Barkley, you kind of hated it when they went up 40 to nothing because he wasn't playing much after that.
I mean, he got enough points.
Yeah, I felt bad because on Instagram I told people to some users to start, some owners I should say, to start Peterson. But I thought the game would be close. Yeah, I was wrong. I'll admit it.
Hopefully, it wasn't over anybody good.
Yeah, Odds are it wasn't because it's Peterson, but what can you do? Some days you're
All
wrong.
right, let's get to next guy on the list, Juju Smith-Schuster.
Juju on that beat. Juju on that beat.
Okay.
Have to go with some Juju and Juju Smith-Schuster. This is 2 weeks in a row. We've played
Juju
Juju
on
like
that beat. Juju on that beat.
Did he make it last week? I guess I can check his game logs.
Oh wait, I have it right here.
Oh wait.
He made it 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, about to say I thought it was a little longer than that.
But Juju Smith-Schuster, 8 catches for 130 yards and 2 touchdowns. So it was him and not the Antonio Brown show this week. I think Antonio Brown only had like 6 points.
Your boy too. But Juju's been Juju's been very solid this year as like a kind of in the shadows guy behind Antonio Brown.
He is all the way up to wide receiver number 7.
Yeah. Top 10. What's Antonio Brown at?
Antonio Brown's number 4.
So, and then you have Connor that's up in the top 10 too. So obviously you want to be targeting this offense next year. You kind of, those that aren't in the playoffs are looking towards next year, I'm guessing. He had a pretty crazy catch in the back of the end zone after Roethlisberger kind of overthrew him a little bit. And then what were they doing with Josh Dobbs in the game?
Big Ben was hurt.
Was he hurt though?
I mean, it looked like he was hurt.
Well, he came back in, and then that's when Juju started going off again.
Well, it's a question for Mike Tomlin.
Well, ask him.
I don't know him.
I think he's going to have a big game next week, though, against the Patriots. Patriots are known to shut down the number 1 playmaker of the offense, which would be Antonio Brown.
So you're calling a Juju big game.
I guess it's my turn for the bold prediction of the week since your prediction
Is
was
it a bold prediction to say that the number 7 wide receiver is going to have a good game?
You don't know what bold prediction is, though. What if I say he gets like 250 yards?
Okay, that'd be pretty bold.
Okay, well, I'm not saying that, but I'll say give me an over-under on the amount of touchdowns he'll get.
7.
Over. He'll
You
get
heard it here first.
2 touchdowns, 100 yards. Is that bold?
I mean, that's pretty bold. We're probably talking close to 30 points right there.
All right, there you go. Look on our Instagram to find out.
All right. We finally arrive at our first stud quarterback, Tom Brady.
Oh, you're
27 of 43.
My bad. I got you.
We haven't said Tom Brady's name in a while.
Yeah, I forgot. Maybe he's not the GOAT anymore.
The GOAT. 27 of 43 for 358 yards and 3 touchdowns. Also added 1 rush for 3 yards. So if you remember last week, Derrick asked us a YouTube question, said, what QB should I start, Brady or Dak? And I said, start Brady. And for about 3/4 of the Cowboys-Eagles game, I even texted Matt. I said, why the hell did Derrick start Dak? Like, what was he thinking? And you're going to find out here in a second that he didn't really make a bad decision. So, but Tom Brady did outscore Dak by 0.3 points. That's the main thing. I was right.
I guess. Well, we'll talk about Dak in a little bit. Let's give Brady his props. He looked good, other than he took a sack a little late that might have cost him the game there. But he broke a touchdown record. Playoffs and regular season. Broke Manning's record. Don't know what the number was, but he did it. And this was his first 20-point game since week 7.
What?
20 yeah.
Really?
I know, right? That's the way Brady's
Eric's
been
already
lately.
Put Tom Brady back into his lineup.
Oh, of course. He went off the week before. Why would he not? That's the number 1 rule of fantasy. If your quarterback or if any player goes off the week before, you have to start him next week, which is why I expect a lot of Derrick Henry owners to be starting him in week 15. I also
one other big difference for Tom Brady was the return of
Gronk.
Gronk. That's right. You're
I mean, he
correct.
played last week, but I don't know if that's what you're
Well, he
going.
didn't do anything last week.
Oh,
He
yeah.
was back to being Gronk this week.
Yeah, that
was a big help.
he
Helps
had
the offense.
8 for 107, 1 touchdown. I also think Michelle didn't run too well. I think he had 20 carries for like 50-something yards, so couldn't rely on the run as much. And while we're talking about Gronk, if you started Gronk in your IDP league where you start a defensive player, he missed 1 tackle.
He's 0 for 1 on the tackle.
He's 0 for 1 on tackles that matter. Because, goddamn.
God, what were they thinking?
Well, I guess he was supposed to be in there.
They were thinking Hail Mary, but Ryan Tannehill wasn't throwing it 70 yards.
He just took a terrible angle at that. And Kenyon Drake, what the hell?
Well, he just was in no position to do anything because you saw how fast his horizontal movements were there.
Yeah, he's known for strength, not speed.
And instead, he just got exposed for everyone to see right there.
Yeah,
Poor
that's surprisingly Brady's 10th loss against Miami.
Did you see that play was 69 yards?
69.
And they were saying that Gronk didn't stop it because he wanted the 69-yard touchdown.
he looked up. He's like, "Oh, that's for 69."
Oh, that's 69 yards.
I gotta let this one go.
Oh,
that would be
Britt responding in that text to Derrick.
It would be Gronk like. What did he say? Okay. Well,
he said, "Yeah."
Well,
I mean, we might be getting some action here.
Maybe later. It's gonna take.
We'll see.
They have to set up Discord and all that, so I don't think we'll get him in here. But maybe another day.
It could happen.
It could happen.
Let's go to Julio Jones. It's a long stud list today. There were a bunch of studs this week. Julio Jones, 8 catches for 106 yards and 2 touchdowns. He has been on fire. Back to classic Julio.
Classic Julio?
Classic Julio.
And classic Julio, like you don't score any touchdowns?
No, this is classic Julio. Before he
like 3 years
touchdowns.
ago. Okay.
Yeah, like 3 years ago, Julio.
Yeah.
He's back to being the focal point of that offense. I mean, what can you say? He's a stud.
Yeah.
He is. That's calculating.
He is a good wide receiver.
He is good wide receiver.
Stalling.
Number 5 wide receiver.
You could have just asked me.
He's your number 5 wide receiver. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, I think...
after the start he got off to, that's pretty solid.
Yeah, I think we can finally put an end to the narrative that he doesn't score touchdowns anymore.
I have a stat later that I don't want to ruin, but since the bye week, he's been really good. We'll just say that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I guess we'll talk later about him as well. This is first multi-touchdown game since week 12 of last year.
Damn.
Playing Arizona. Arizona actually has a decent passing defense. I still think he'll do well because of what we'll talk about later.
Yeah.
So let's move on.
Let's get to Derrick's other quarterback that he had, Dak Prescott. 42 of 54. He threw the ball 54 times for 455 yards and 3 touchdowns. Also had 2 interceptions and then 4 rushes for 2 yards. I don't know if Dak Prescott should ever be throwing a football 54 times in a game, but
that's what I was gonna say, dude. Like, okay. Going back to last week when Derrick came and joined the chat. If I ask you any single day of the year, it don't matter if Tom Brady's 65 years old. Do I start Tom Brady or Dak Prescott? Like, why should that question ever have to be asked?
Because, Matt, some people.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say.
Okay, so you texted me, I think in the third quarter of this game, saying, like, why did you start Brady over Dak? And Dak had, I think, probably like 200 yards, 2 interceptions, and a fumble at that point.
He had like 7 points at the time.
Yeah, 7 points. Immediately after you sent that text, scores a touchdown. Couple drives later, throws a bomb to Amari Cooper, scores a touchdown. I take a nap because I don't want to watch this game anymore. I wake up, the motherfucker's got like 26 points. I'm like,
Yeah.
he's never had a 400-yard game in his life, and he hasn't had a 300-yard game this season, and he fucking does both in the same game.
He passed up his season high in yards by like 200 yards.
Yeah, I'm like, of course this happens to me. Can I pull a Brit? Of course.
Of course. So when you see that Dak Prescott threw it 54 times, you're probably thinking, oh, man, why weren't they giving the ball to Zeke? Like, what were they thinking? But our next stud
Well, can I
was
speak
Ezekiel
of
Elliott.
Dak for a little bit more? I just want to ask you a quick question.
Oh, sure. Just ruined my little intro there. Yeah.
No, we can go back to it. You can redo it, right? That's the
What's your
editing
question?
powers that I have that I don't use. I thought it'd be a good question for people that are in the playoffs that are, a lot of people stream quarterbacks. So we can go through some of these quarterbacks to see if you'd stream them over Dak, or whether or not you pick Dak over these quarterbacks that I list. And I'll give you the matchups as well. Sound fun?
Yeah, I'm pumped. Let's go.
All right, so we'll just start with like around 5 quarterbacks around his rank. So Dak Prescott is playing Indy this week. Would you start him over Mitch Trubisky at Green Bay or against Green Bay?
I would start Trubisky.
Okay. Would you start Prescott over Tom Brady at Pittsburgh? Speaking of Tom Brady.
I would start Tom Brady.
Okay. Kirk Cousins against Miami.
Jeez, Kirk Cousins is terrible.
Yeah,
I'd probably start Dak Prescott.
Speaking of, they fired their offensive coordinator.
Speaking of, I turned to the TV and Dak Prescott's Chunky Campbell's soup commercials on.
Well, that's a sign. So you said you start Prescott?
Yeah.
Russell Wilson at San Fran.
Russell.
Okay. 2 more. Derek Carr at Cincinnati.
Dak.
Okay. Last one, Eli Manning against Tennessee.
Dak.
All right. There you go. For those that are streaming quarterbacks and you liked Dak's game last week, you know who to start. I'm guessing the rest of the people you'd probably start over Dak, so I'm not going to answer.
Okay.
Or ask. Now.
Let's get to Zeke. Ezekiel Elliott, 28 carries for 113 yards, 12 catches for 79 yards. So even though Dak Prescott threw the ball 54 times, he still had 40 touches.
Yeah.
No touchdowns, but he still had like 30 fantasy points.
Well, that's because they all fucking went to Dak Prescott to lose him in a damn matchup.
Zeke Elliott is on a run right now that is pretty incredible his last 5 games.
Well,
He has been, huh?
I said, well, tell me that run.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you once I pull it out.
No, did I just fuck you right here?
No. But in his last 5 weeks, he has 35, 31, 24, 23, 26.
Damn.
It's pretty good.
Living up to that top 5 pick, finally.
And he is doing it all. He's obviously not getting 12 catches every week like this, but I mean he's throwing in a solid, 6, 7, 8 catches every week. He is an all-purpose back.
Yeah.
And he's really good at football.
So, I don't know if you're probably not worried, but you saw that hard shot he took in the helmet. And
I did. He seemed
that was the first time I've seen that call actually made, where you're lowering the helmet for an offensive player, at least.
So since he's kind of the all-purpose back, is he Christian McCaffrey light, or is Christian McCaffrey Ezekiel Elliott white?
30 minutes in, we made it to that.
I had to do it.
No, he's definitely better than Christian McCaffrey.
Christian McCaffrey's number 3 running back.
I think he runs the ball better. McCaffrey's more of a. I'm not gonna do it. Christian McCaffrey catches the ball more. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's all you're gonna say.
Yeah. I Well, I'll say it later on in the show.
Okay. Let's get to our last fantasy stud. I had to throw this in there. This was Matt's boy. This was the most predictable stud of the week by far, because if this guy played the Texans every week, he'd be a surefire Hall of Famer. T.Y. Hilton, 9 catches for 199 yards. Guy just torches us, as Matt signals his T.Y. Guy just torches every single game. I don't understand it, why we can't get anybody to cover him.
Because you can't. He's the best wide receiver in the game.
He doesn't do anything against anybody else.
What do you mean? We would have had him on the studs list 2 weeks ago. But we had to take a week off for Thanksgiving. Ew, fuck yeah. We fucking took over the United States from the Indians. Good shit.
Hey, that wasn't my fault we didn't have a show.
I mean, it was USA's fault. Oh, so I did the did the calculations of what he's gone off for the Texans for. Apparently you agree with me. I don't know. He had so far in 14 games against the Texans, 76 catches, 1,445 yards, 9 touchdowns. So that's 5.5 catches for 103 yards a game against the Texans. That's good.
It's pretty good.
That goes back a few years too. Like we can't cover the guy. I don't know why.
Never could.
Our secondary shit. Actually, it's not bad this year. Well, our safeties are good.
But never have anybody fast that can keep up with him.
Yeah, when you put Kareem Jackson on T.Y. Hilton, it's probably not going to work. Or Jonathan Joseph. They just aren't quick enough. Maybe Kevin Johnson?
Maybe Kevin Johnson could, you know?
And then he takes 2 steps and get concussed, and then he's out for the game.
Exactly. He'd cover him for one play. He'd interfere, but he wouldn't let him catch the ball.
Yeah. So T.Y. is finally living up to his I think I took him in the 4th round.
He's up to wide receiver 17, so solid wide receiver 2.
Yeah. You're liking these past few games though. He was hurt a couple games.
Isn't he always hurt?
I mean, no.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. That's our fantasy studs. A lot of studs this week. Lots of big scoring to wrap up the first round of playoffs for the way we do it. I don't know if you do it that way, but that's the way we do it. Let's get to a few standout stats here. Some stats that stood out. Okay.
I don't have a drop for that, so we're just going to play.
If you're a YouTuber,
oh, that's
probably using
that's an ad.
Oh, that's not the drop.
Let me mute this for 3 seconds, and then I got the drop, okay?
This better be good, Matt.
Breaking news.
It's not really breaking news, but you got to play the news music during this segment, I guess. It's in your contract.
That's all I got, okay.
Let's talk about tight ends real quick. Okay, so what if I told you, how would you rate the fantasy football tight ends this year as a whole?
As a Travis Kelce owner, or
when we think about tight ends in general for the 2018 fantasy football season, what have we always said?
Draft tight ends early.
No, that's not what we said. We said that mostly they are shit.
I've never said that. I can't. I'm required by law to not say that because I own Travis Kelce.
Tight ends have been down this year.
Okay, they have. But they were down last year as well.
Most tight ends,
nothing's really changed.
Top 4 guys that I'm going to name have been absolutely terrible the entire year.
One of them is very surprising too.
But since 2000, this is where these 4 guys rank through week 14 for fantasy points by tight end. Since 2000, that's a long time. 19 years.
Yeah, that's pretty... I was going to ask you what you meant by that, but okay, you explained it.
So these are fantasy points through week 14 of the past 19 years. Kelce ranks 2nd overall. 2nd best fantasy season by a tight end since 2000. Zach Ertz is 4th. George Kittle is 17th, and Eric Ebron is 22nd.
So are these total,
so 4 of the top
total points or this season specifically?
Through week 14. This is this season specifically.
Through 14, okay.
So these are 4 of the top 22 fantasy tight end seasons since 2000 happening all at the same time. So basically what I'm getting at is tight ends, like 2 huge opposite ends of the spectrum here. These guys are having historic years, and then the other guys, everybody else has just been terrible. Like you could plug in anybody, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and
like guys like Trey Burton will have one good week. OJ Howard has a good week. Vance McDonald has a good week. Guys like that. Jared Cook had a good week.
So how is that not telling you that you should not reach for a tight end?
Okay, this year when there were 4 top guys.
So Zach Ertz and Kelsey both went. Well, in our league, Ertz went a little later, but if you're able to grab them in the top 6 rounds, why wouldn't you take them?
Well, what I'm getting at is that usually, okay, so Kelsey and Ertz are always going to be above the rest of the guys, right? We know that.
Yeah.
But usually the gap is not this big.
I think you could insert Gronk in that as well. Just Gronk's been hurt this year.
Too. So usually the top guys are not this high, and the bottom guys are not that low. The gap's a lot smaller. So I'm saying drafting them when you could get a solid wide receiver or running back just doesn't make much sense to me. This year is kind of an anomaly with the way it's worked out, where there's such a huge gap between the top tight ends and the bottom ones.
Well, so if you're at the beginning of the draft this year, was there not a huge gap that you were thinking of, like, oh, it's Gronk, it's Kelsey, it's Ertz?
There was a huge gap in skill set, yes, but I did not think there would be this big of a gap in points, which is my same thought as quarterbacks. Quarterbacks, you knew, well, it hasn't worked out that way, but you thought guys like Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Tom Brady, Deshaun Watson would obviously be the better quarterbacks, but I don't think you thought it was that big of a gap between them and guys like Matt Ryan and Big Ben and Andrew Luck, and you know what I'm saying?
In a way. So they offer you Travis Kelce. I will say, because Travis Kelce's going to go super early next year. I just have a feeling he's going to go like 2nd round, most likely. If I offer you a guy like Zach Ertz or George Kittle, we'll put them in the same tier, I guess. I think they are. In the 4th round, are you taking them?
Just depends on what my first 3 picks look like.
Yeah. See, so you're coming over to my side then.
I think I'd rather have a running back or wide receiver 2 than a tight end right there.
Yeah, but you're not guaranteed that running back either. We've proven this year. You took what, Devontae Freeman this year? I guess he got hurt, but there's a lot of running backs that aren't going to necessarily hit either.
Right, but they have a higher hit rate.
I don't know if they do.
Their hit rate, was what I'm saying, is usually like their ceiling's a lot higher.
This year you could actually.
Now Ertz is having an historic year. Ertz is on pace to set the all-time single season yardage mark for a tight end.
Ertz is, really? That's surprising. This year was the year that you could actually pick up running backs off the waiver wire and do kind of fine.
Yeah, I'm saying this year's like been kind of backwards.
Yeah. And that's how it's always been. It's gone super. So in the past 2 years, or like 2 years ago, you could draft really good wide receivers later. And then you kind of reaching for running backs, and now it's kind of shifted to the opposite side of the spectrum, where everyone's going running back now.
Be interesting to see what the draft looks like next year.
Yeah.
Let's get to a few more of these guys real quick. That was a good discussion over our tight ends. Always a hot topic on this show since me and Matt Neeson we have very different viewpoints on tight ends, obviously. But one guy's won 3 championships, one has won none. So y'all be the judge of that.
Who's in the playoffs right now?
5th place. With
that ain't the playoffs.
7 IR guys.
How'd your other season go, or other league go?
That other league is fucking retarded.
Yeah, didn't make the playoffs either. That's right.
And I have Kittle in that league, so what does that tell you?
I got Kelsey in both leagues, made the playoffs in both leagues. What does that tell you?
Well, you just got your ass stomped in the first round, so.
Okay.
And I would have beat you in this round, so yeah, my team's better.
Yeah, congratulations. You made some trades throughout the season.
Yeah, and I tried to get you to make trades, but you want to hold on to your 8 shitty running backs.
I traded one.
You traded Crowell.
And Mac. I got Brandon Cooks.
I offered you Antonio Brown.
Yeah, you forgot about that. Yeah, how did Antonio Brown do last week?
Still better than Cooks.
I don't know. Did he?
Like, combine the first week of playoffs with the second week, and yeah, you did.
Okay. Let's move on. They don't want to hear about our.
Either way, you had a chance to improve your team and actually do something, and you chose
And
to
I did.
just sit still.
I improved my team.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's talk about.
Hey, Julio
we don't really
Jones.
need to talk about him. We've already talked about him a lot, but Julio Jones. I was just going to reiterate that over the last 6 weeks since the bye week, he is your number 2 wide receiver.
Yeah. And
Behind.
what I was going to say is behind Corey Davis, because he's been going off. No, it's not.
No,
really him.
but behind your boy.
My boy.
Yeah.
Or your boy.
No, your boy.
T.Y.?
No.
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 That's my boy.
Last 6 weeks, number 1 wide receiver. Come on, Matt.
Oh, Keenan Allen.
Keenan Allen. There you go.
Yeah, my bad. I forgot that's my boy from last year.
Yeah, there's many boys that
People always have like 6 boys. I don't know how to go through.
Oh my god, that picture.
Is it inappropriate for work? Not safe
Not
for work.
inappropriate, it's just very disturbing.
Okay. No one knows what we're talking about. Let's move on.
No. Baker Mayfield. He's played 6 games since Hugh Jackson was fired. Before Hugh Jackson was fired, he was 27th in the league in passer rating. He is 4th since they fired Hugh Jackson.
Yeah. I don't have much to say about him.
He has been producing fantasy-wise also to kind of tie that in, but that was just kind of an amazing stat to me. Like, he's that much better without Hugh Jackson.
Their entire team as a whole is better without Hugh Jackson, I think. I mean, Nick Chubb hasn't been scoring as much, but...
Oh, my God.
I don't want to look at it. I got my phone down right now. I'll just say that Baker is averaging 3 more yards per attempt passing when Hugh Jackson is not the head coach. They're looking to throw the ball downfield a little bit more. I still don't think I'd start him, though.
I mean, he's got good potential.
You're so distracted by whatever is getting said.
I'm trying to get Derrick to hop on.
Oh, he ain't coming on. Speaking of another streaming QB.
Next, Josh Allen. The number is 335. He now owns the best 3-game stretch of rushing yards by a quarterback. 335 rushing yards the last 3 weeks. That is absolutely insane.
Do you know who he... What?
I'm trying to set Derrick up here.
Okay. Do you know who he's ahead of? Or he just passed in that 3-game stretch?
Michael Vick.
So could you say... You know what I'm going to say.
Say it then.
No, you say it.
No, I'm waiting on you to say it.
Is Josh Allen good at QB? That's what I was going to say.
Is he good at QB? Is Josh Allen Michael Vick
light? In a way, he is actually. You know, they both got big arms, both run the ball, and they're both not very accurate passing.
They both run illegal dogfighting.
Okay, well, I don't know about that.
Rings?
I don't think they do. But so 3 weeks ago, Josh Allen had 99 yards rushing, and if he had 1 more yard, that'd be 3 consecutive weeks with 100 yards rushing. He's definitely streamable if you're gonna go that far back.
What did I say a couple weeks ago? He's a league winner.
Could be if you take the Ryan approach to drafting. Yeah.
I mean, he still only had like 19, 16 points.
Yeah, I mean, you take I had Cam Newton this week where I drafted 6th round, got me 10 points. I'd much rather have Josh
Just
Allen
think, if
in
you
there.
had Josh Allen, you still would have lost,
I
but it would be closer.
still would have lost, but I've been 9 points closer. I think.
Speaking of y'all's
definitely
matchup, you know how many times Dalvin Cook was close to busting one off last night?
Oh, I know. I just needed one.
There were like 2 or 3 where he got tripped up, and I was like, man, if he goes like an 80-yard run right here, then Matt has a chance.
That's the only thing I was hoping for, because Dalvin Cook is the type of running back that could bust one off for like a 90-yard touchdown. And
Thielen wasn't doing shit.
oh, yeah. It was like the perfect thing to happen. And then if I'd have started Chicago Bears defense over the Steelers.
What were you thinking, man?
Okay.
Bears are #1 defense.
Bears going against the #1 offense in the league. What am I thinking?
You laugh. I told a guy on Instagram, he asked us, should I start the Bears defense? And I said yes.
Again, for who, though? Should I start the Bears
for who?
defense or the Miami Dolphins defense against the Patriots?
He asked me the Bears defense or the Vikings defense.
Well, the Vikings. I guess the Vikings didn't. They didn't do too bad, but yeah.
Exactly. And I still said the Bears. Go
Yeah,
with what got you there.
The Bears didn't get
And
me
they had
there,
the
though.
highest scoring defense of the week, 22
Yeah.
points.
I still would have lost. So.
Not if you started
Oh,
the
yeah.
Bears and
If
you picked up Josh Allen and
I would have done,
did some other stuff.
dropped Brandon Cooks, picked up some other dude. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's move on.
The formula was there, Matt. You just
good.
didn't follow it.
We're getting off topic.
Amari Cooper, back on topic. I just wanted to say, when he was with Oakland and we were talking shit about him, and I said he was droppable, didn't I?
Probably because you're.
I think I said that before he got traded. He was wide receiver 59 on the Raiders.
Yeah.
Since he got traded to Dallas, he is wide receiver 2. Wide receiver number 2.
Yeah, and I had to do some research while I'm at work. You know, when he was with the Raiders, he had 22 catches, 280 yards, 1 touchdown in 6 games. Now with the Cowboys, 34 catches, 642 yards, 6 touchdowns. Who would have guessed that? Who would have guessed Dak Prescott is an upgrade
Not John Gruden.
over Derek Carr? Is it John? It has to be John Gruden, right?
What, that made the move?
Well, no, it's the
Sucks.
reason. Yeah. Is it John Gruden the reason that the Raiders are just terrible right now?
He hasn't coached in 15 years.
And how many more years do they have him?
It's a 10-year contract, so
Well,
9 more years.
hopefully it only 1 or 2 more years before they just cut his ass. Or fire his ass, I should say.
I need him back in the broadcast booth anyways. He was good.
Yeah. You tired of Witten already?
Jason Witten. God, he's fucking terrible.
Yeah, Amari Cooper good.
Yeah, okay.
I already asked where do you think he's going to be drafted next year?
Well, shit, after this little run, he'll rise right back up.
If he stays with the Cowboys.
Where did Josh Gordon go this year? 4th round? 5th round? I
Josh
think
Gordon
he's
gets
kind
hyped
of
up,
like
though.
how Josh Gordon was trending at the end of last year.
Yeah, Josh Gordon just had so much hype behind him, though. I don't know if Amari Cooper doesn't have as much hype.
If he keeps putting up 48 points a week.
Still, I don't know. I guess I could see it.
What is he up to overall?
Cooper? You got that Cooper?
He's up to wide receiver 14.
Damn. That's ahead of Tyler Boyd, who was going off for a while.
It's ahead of your boys Brandon Cooks and T.Y. Hilton.
Yeah. Damn. That's pretty
Damn.
sad.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
The
I
thing
guess
Brett
he-
was trying to trade his ass. I think no one bit.
He could go top 5 rounds. You say
Yeah.
this is last year on
Maybe
his
5th
contract,
or
right?
6th. I don't know.
All right. Move on then. We don't want to look stupid.
Last guy I want to we already mentioned this guy, Christian McCaffrey. Did you know that he is on pace to break Matt Forte's single season running back reception mark?
Yeah.
Because I told you.
Because you told me. And I had to look it up. But he's a leader in reception since week 6. And another one of Derrick's players. That just keeps helping him out.
Like I said, Derrick's team is loaded. Saquon Barkley, Christian McCaffrey, Tom Brady, Dak Prescott.
I don't know who's Adam Thielen, fucking top 5 wide receiver.
Mike Evans.
Okay, he hasn't been doing too well, but Christian McCaffrey is going to be a top.
Eric Ebron.
Yeah, what the hell? After someone drops him.
You can take Austin for that. Austin handing Derrick another championship.
You trade him all your number 1 fucking running backs again.
All right. Anything else on those guys?
No, they're good.
They are good.
That's it.
So let's move on to our waiver wire.
Waiver claims.
Waiver claims. That guy sounded a little like sick tonight.
Let me see. Maybe he's got the fever.
Waiver claims.
He sounded better that time.
Yeah, okay. Ethan's kid's getting him sick. He got that strep throat. Get that mono.
Matt, this first guy is for you.
For me?
As you are the owner of the entire Chargers backfield.
I mean, might as well be shit.
Melvin Gordon was out last week. Austin Eckler is possibly out this week. Most likely out this week. Melvin Gordon may be out this week. They play Thursday night, so a quick turnaround. So if that happens, your feature back getting all the work is Justin Jackson.
The paintbrush. He looks like a paintbrush.
The paintbrush.
You tune in the live stream.
Now, Matt, who are you starting?
Oh, I'm starting Gordon. I think it's not been confirmed he's playing, but they're very optimistic he's playing. He said he's war ready on Twitter. If that don't give you the hope you need. So if Melvin Gordon says he's playing, you're not starting Justin Jackson over him, are you?
Well, no.
You're also a Gordon owner. As you read your text messages.
Derrick's trying to figure out what to do.
It's too late now. He can come in next week.
All right, I'm just seeing some real quick.
Oh yeah, okay. But yeah, you're not. I don't think you're starting Jackson this week, unless Gordon doesn't play.
Unless Gordon doesn't play, but then you'd feel pretty good about starting him, right?
Oh, absolutely. With Eckler out, yeah, Eckler and Gordon out. Eckler's already been announced out. I don't know if you said that.
Okay. Yeah, I did.
Claudie
Next on the
asks about what about the load share? They're sharing the load. I don't think they're going to share it. That's it.
If Gordon plays, Justin Jackson, I think still will get some work. But if Melvin Gordon's healthy enough to play, then they're going to give him the ball. So
yeah, they're playing Kansas City. Pretty big game for them this week.
Big games coming up for the Chargers. They're trying to win, improve their playoff seeding. They still have an outside shot of catching the Chiefs, I think.
Yeah, and they still got to win if they want to. If they lose the rest of their games, I don't know if they're going to make the wild card. So, still a pretty big game for him. I wouldn't worry about it. Melvin Gordon is definitely the best running back they own.
If Melvin Gordon plays, I expect him to handle most of the load. So,
load.
Next guy, Elijah McGuire. Isaiah Crowell left the game. It's been a rough stretch for the Crow lately. Speaking of loads, he kind of blew his load a little early this year.
He had a couple, he had a 200-yard game, and that's about it.
But he got hurt. He's probably out this week. So Elijah McGuire filled in, got 17 carries for 60 yards and a touchdown. Do you start Elijah McGuire this week?
No.
What if he's your only option?
Then you're not in the playoffs. Then you
Would you rather start Elijah McGuire or Justin Jackson?
Oh, well, are we saying Melvin Gordon's not playing?
Gordon doesn't play. Yeah.
Then yeah, Justin Jackson. McGuire's going against the Texans this week. And as much shit as we talk about the Texans, they actually can stop their run pretty well. So he's just going to be touchdown dependent. And I don't see the Jets scoring any touchdowns. So I'd pick up maybe every other running back on our waiver wire list besides him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how to add somebody.
Is he on Discord right now?
Yeah, he said his username is, it's his last name. I don't want to give away his last name on the airwaves.
It's just his last name. I don't know.
That's what he says.
You talk and then I'll try to add.
Yeah, I'll talk. So Elijah McGuire probably filling in for Coel this week. I think he's like, if you're just in a bind and you need a flex to throw out there, I think he's going to get all the goal line work, so there's potential there for him to score another touchdown. Against you never know what you're going to get with the Texans defense, really. So, next guys on the list are the Bills. So LaShawn McCoy, he got hurt this week, so Chris Ivory may be the starting running back, but Chris Ivory also got a little banged up. So enter in Marcus Murphy. Who's Marcus Murphy? I don't know. Do you know?
What? Who?
Yeah, exactly. But if McCoy or Ivory is out, these guys will be available. Chris Ivory and Marcus Murphy. Don't know how confident you would feel starting them. I'd much rather start Elijah McGuire. But they're out there if you are in a bind.
Yeah, I guess I would start McGuire over those two, but that's the only way. If it's just those two on your waiver wire, then yeah, pick up McGuire. But like I said, you're not starting either one in your playoff matchup, or else you're gonna lose.
Yep. Unless, I don't know. If you would have told me, oh, you're starting Derrick Henry this week, you're fucking getting your ass kicked. But worked out well for people that started Derrick Henry last week.
Yeah, it's true. And then I don't know how to fucking add Derrick on this, so I don't know if he's getting in this week.
How did we add Austin that one time?
We'll probably have to. I think you have to be out of a call. Oh wait, maybe here we go. If you're watching the live stream, then you're not going to be able to see our faces right now. That's okay because we're ugly. We need his 4-digit tag. It should be Dart. It should be his name and his 4-digit tag. All right, so if you want to text him that, then we can. I'll just move on to the next guy.
I just text him. I can do it. Okay, next guy on the list, Damian Williams. So everybody knows the situation in Kansas City. Kareem Hunt was suspended, actually dropped from the team. So Spencer Ware. He had been, decent little fill-in, but Spencer Ware got banged up this week. So enter in Damian Williams, who had 2 touchdowns this week. And if Spencer Ware is out, Damian Williams will be the guy this week for Kansas City versus the Chargers on Thursday night.
Will he though? You don't believe it? You don't believe in the Charizard?
I think they like Damian Williams.
Yeah. Charizard wasn't bad last year, if I recall, but yeah,
that was a couple years ago, but yeah.
Was it? Oh yeah, I guess.
I think that was before.
Kareem Hunt actually played last year. I forgot. He didn't beat any women last year.
Exactly.
Yeah, I guess you pick up Damian Williams, but you got to throw the question out there that they could actually split carries. They kind of did it this week, honestly, with Spencer Ware getting banged up every single carry. It seemed like when I was watching the game, it was like I got, I think 5 notifications in a row from sleeper app saying like, "Oh, Tyreek Hill hurt, Spencer Ware hurt. Oh, Tyreek Hill back in the game. Oh, Tyreek Hill is out of the game."
Would you rather start Damian Williams or Elijah McGuire?
Damian Williams.
Okay. Damian Williams or Justin Jackson?
Chargers have a pretty decent defense and Chiefs don't. I think it's just matchup dependent. I would go Justin Jackson. That's
okay.
With that said, Melvin Gordon not playing.
Right. All right, let's get to a few receivers here. We have Deshaun Hamilton. Did you know who Deshaun Hamilton was before this week?
Of course I did. We got a podcast. I got to know who everyone is.
What team did he play for?
I Googled today, and he played for the Broncos. No, I actually saw his stat line. Wow, I was wondering why
Emmanuel Sanders went on the Emmanuel Sanders went on the IR, so everybody thought Courtland Sutton be the guy to step up here. But Deshaun Hamilton this week had 7 catches and a touchdown.
Yeah.
What do we think about old Deshaun?
I don't think I'm picking him up. He even has a Courtland Sutton owner.
What about the other Bronco receiver, Tim Patrick, who had 10 targets and 7 catches?
Didn't he used to have a show called Home Improvement or something?
That's Tim Taylor.
Oh yeah, it sounds like the same guy. Just sounds like a white dude that
Come
doesn't do
on,
much.
Matt. You can't blow that kind of reference right there.
How's that? Is that blowing? Or that's the only references I know, or like old ass '90s sitcoms.
I know you don't know movie references, so I guess it translates to TV references.
Exactly.
Really
I'm not bad with TV. No, but I'm not starting him either. I'm not picking him up.
What
it
about?
Just sucks.
Oh, I spelled his name wrong. What about Dante Pettis, who has continued to score touchdowns? 3 straight games with a touchdown.
This might be the only guy I pick up, but we kind of talked about him last week, saying he's Deshaun Jackson-ish. Or he's going to score.
Deshaun Jackson.
No, not doing it. Deshaun Jackson-ish. And you're not going to ever feel safe starting him, but if you need to, you could get a big game out of him.
There's potential for a boom.
Got the boom.
How about Ian Thomas? We mentioned him last week. Since Greg Olsen went out, Ian Thomas stepping up as the tight end. He caught 9 of his 11 targets for 77 yards. We know how Cam Newton likes his tight ends.
Yeah.
So I expect him to continue to get a lot of work going forward. And he is a guy you can look to for next year's draft. Maybe a late tight end you can grab.
So you don't expect Greg Olsen to come back?
I think he's done.
He gets injured way too much.
How many times can you break a foot? Like, come on.
This would be like a perfect guy for you that likes to pick up tight ends late or even off the waiver wire. That, yeah, I guess you could sit him in there. But I don't think I'd be drafting him.
I mean, just depends on where you can get him.
Boney's McJones.
Like if I'm drafting tight end in like next to last round, then yeah, I'll pick him up.
Yeah. Where'd you take tight end this year? I forget. And who did you take?
In the 9th round.
And who did you take? I think I remember. Yeah, Evan Ingram. Yeah. See, that's the thing. Like, if you're not taking one of them top 3 tight ends, then it's really just a crapshoot. So you might as well just take a tight end.
Yeah, but he got hurt.
Even when he came back, he hasn't been producing.
Yeah, when he came back because he was still hurt. But the game before he got hurt, he had like 16 points.
You could say that about any tight end. Any tight end can go off for 16 points. That's their one game. It's just
he was decent. He just kept getting hurt.
Well, then pick him back up. He's on a waiver wire right now.
No, I got who is my tight end?
Yeah, if that ain't
I don't even know.
If that ain't showing you what you should be doing, I don't know.
This is bad. Like, I really can't think who my tight end is.
Well, like Kyle Rudolph,
Cameron
that's your
Brate.
boy. Oh, Cameron Brate. Yeah. Yeah, that's another guy. You could just wait for an injury. OJ Howard could go early next year.
How about Cameron Brate's stat line this week? 2 catches, 12 yards, 2 touchdowns.
If that ain't Kyle Rudolph
stats,
and I don't know. And that's what you're hoping for with tight ends when you take them super late. You're hoping for them touchdowns. Because there's only a couple tight ends that are going to give you high yardages. And it's Travis Kelce, Zach Ertz, Gronk. Or actually, George Kittle now.
George Kittle. I guess Derek can't figure out that whole thing.
That's fine. We'll set him up next week.
Theo Riddick. He is our guy for waiver wires. He's on the list every week. But he has 32 catches his last 6 games. So if you are playing PPR, like, he's got some value.
Yeah, I feel like this is the same waiver wire list we had last week. I don't know. I'm pretty sure Theo Riddick.
There's not much waiver movement in the last weeks of the season, really. No one's really emerging.
Yeah, don't pick up Riddick.
Okay. What about Curtis Samuel? 19 targets his last 2 games.
It's really been between like him, Ian Thomas, and DJ Moore, yeah. And Cam Newton
just had 0 catches this week.
Oh man, Cam Newton just hasn't looked good lately. I don't know if it's a shoulder or what, but
Cam Newton sucks.
Yeah, I agree. He got me 10 points. Didn't lose me my week, but he hasn't been looking good.
Just think, Matt, if he would have scored 40 points, you would have won.
I just had Amari Cooper. I wonder who scored more points. Jarvis Landry didn't throw a touchdown this week, did he? Yeah, he had a bomb that he threw.
One. He caught 2 touchdowns.
He rushed
and he did throw a bomb. Yeah.
He threw a bomb, but I don't think they caught it. I should just start Odell Beckham as my quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Or this next guy.
Talked about him. 335 yards rushing the last 3 games. Josh Allen, very streamable quarterback for your playoffs. He's got solid floor with those rushing yards, getting you about 100 yards a week.
Yeah, he's actually rushing more than Lamar Jackson is.
Lamar Jackson?
Yeah.
Because the Ravens are retarded. Can I say retarded? The Ravens are dumb.
You can say, I mean, if you can't say retarded by now, then I don't know, because we broke the barrier of politically correct. So,
no, but the Ravens, they somehow got in their head that they're going to turn Lamar Jackson into a pocket passer, and they don't let him run as much. But then when they actually start running read option stuff, they start scoring.
Yeah, and that's when they start doing well. It doesn't. It's hardball, man. He doesn't know what to do with his running backs. Doesn't know what to do with his quarterbacks.
These damn coaches that are so set in their ways.
Learn.
Like, if you have a guy like that, you adjust your offense to him.
Yeah. That's what Bill O'Brien was doing last week.
Last year, Bill O'Brien adjusted his offense to Deshaun Watson, and he had the most amazing 6-game stretch just about in NFL history for a quarterback. What have we done this year? We reverted back to pretending that Tom Savage is our quarterback.
Oh, J.J. Watt's playing now? Our defense is good? Okay, well, then we can just run the ball on first down every single time and, try to convert third downs when we can't.
Like, Deshaun Watson, Lamar Jackson, these guys are weapons that can use their legs. You got to let them.
No, Ryan.
Let them do it.
Doesn't matter. We're setting up perfectly for our 9-7 season right now.
If we lose the last 3 games, we go 9-7.
Would you be surprised?
That'd be the most Texans thing ever.
Would you be surprised?
To go 9-7 with the 9 wins being a 9-game winning streak.
We had a 3-game losing streak, 9-game winning streak, and then what? 4-game losing streak? Would you be surprised, though?
That'd be the most Texans thing ever. Would I be surprised? No, not at all.
And then lose first round of the playoffs to the Chiefs.
We wouldn't play the Chiefs first round. Actually, if we end up 9-7, we might.
Yeah, I'm saying we might, and that would be. Boney's McJoney says, "Let the boys play." We agree.
Yeah. So I've been messing with the. I don't know if you ever get on the NFL playoff machine on ESPN. They let you pretty much pick the rest of the games, and it'll show you how the playoffs will set up.
Okay.
But I was messing around with it today on what I think will happen in the last 3 weeks, and our first round playoff opponent will be the Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah, and I don't know if you feel after what we just saw 2 days ago. Do you feel safe going against them?
Yeah, I would not feel too good about it. Not at all.
Who else is the option though?
The Colts or the Ravens.
Okay, I would play against the Ravens. I think we can beat the Ravens for sure.
Yeah, because it seems like Chargers are pretty much locked into that 5 slot.
Yeah, I would not want to play the Chargers right now because Chargers have a lot of weapons. Good quarterback. We're not very good against good quarterbacks. Good number 1 wide receiver. Decent
Chargers
defense.
are probably going to play the Steelers.
I would take the Chargers in that. Not that we're trying to pick our playoffs right now, but
let's talk about this last guy real quick because we're just talking about other stuff. But surprise, Jordan Reed got hurt again this week. So in steps Vernon Davis. If you need a tight end, I mean,
you want Mark Sanchez throwing to one of your guys, I guess you can.
I mean, hey, it could happen.
I guess what could be said is some of these quarterbacks that step in, they like to check down a lot. So you could see if you're not checking down they have Chris Thompson, but you check down to the tight end.
Is Chris Thompson even playing?
I believe he did last week. That's because I know Adrian Peterson didn't do anything.
Let's see, Chris Thompson.
Oh, I got it. He had 3 rushes for 23 yards and 3 catches for 15 yards. So he did play.
There you go. Damn, he started off the season so good.
I know. And he was drafted as if you're in PPR, he was probably drafted pretty high. And he got hurt.
That's the way it goes.
That's the way the cookie crumbles.
Well, that's about all I got.
Yeah.
Anything else to add on your side, Matt?
No. I just wish Ethan's kids to eat their apples.
Get well soon.
Get well soon. Like they're sick every week.
So Ethan can join us next week. I haven't yet to find out if he's even in his championship, but if he is, we'll have Ethan back on next week to talk about that.
Oh yeah, we did.
Hopefully we can get Derrick and Britt on next week to talk about their finals matchup in our league. Maybe even get Austin and Sam in here to talk about their last place matchup. See who gets to wear the dress.
Next week might be our last week.
Next week will probably be our last standard show. We will have our award show after the season.
Because the week after that, Christmas is on a Tuesday. I doubt we're doing a stream that day.
That's true. We can do the award show whenever. It doesn't have to be, in line with waivers or anything.
Yeah, we don't have to do that. But
actually, we still have week 17 where we'll talk about stuff for week 17. I forgot about that.
Will we? Okay.
Yeah.
Don't play week 17, but if you do, I guess we'll talk about it.
If you do, we will come to you with some stuff. Probably a quick episode that week, just hit on a few things, but
maybe we'll have a couple new faces to talk about their championship bout.
Talk about championships, talk about flat earth, all those good things. Did we land on the moon? Ask Steph Curry. I don't know.
Talk about that, I guess.
Wish go me to Instagram. What?
I'm just throwing out my birthday. Wish me a happy birthday in 2 days.
Yep, Matt will be 38 years old in 2 days.
Feels like it.
Go to Instagram, follow us at Fantasy and Chill, Twitter at Fantasy and Chill, YouTube Fantasy and Chill. Subscribe on the podcast app, Apple, all that good stuff. We're still coming to you with Sunday morning who to start. Actually, all week we get some messages and I respond on who I think you should start. Worked out for that guy that I told to start the Bears defense. So you get those kind of good advice there. You can't pass that up.
Went live again for about 15 minutes right before the games. Probably misguided some people. Yeah, quite a bit of viewers actually. Yeah, so.
But if you want some good answers, you'll DM us because I usually answer those. So.
If you want good answers, then just DM us, I guess.
Good luck to Matt as he works for his money back for third place. Hopefully he can come up with that and not get fourth place again like he did last year. That's a brutal way to go.
Better than wearing a dress.
Better than wearing the dress. We will end it on that note. We out.